Our next album is We Can't Dance, and well, if you know anything about me, I actually can't dance. I don't know how to dance, so this is very relatable. But this is Gen CD3, the first one being the Mama album, the second the Invisible Touch, and now this one. So finally, another disc. And the disc this time has color and artwork, so that's pretty cool. See inside for details. Inside of what? Of the CD? Doesn't make any sense. I guess it is, they are talking about this. And if we look at the artwork this time, the artwork is pretty neat. It's real artwork. It looks like a story, you know. But then we have the back and it continues this artwork. Now with no one. So it's pretty cool. I wanted to show this middle part with this picture, the classic picture I used for the first episode of Small Talk and for the first episode of this season. But it looks a bit different on all of them, really. So there are many more pictures and many more are actually probably in color. But first, let's appreciate that every song has its own artwork. That's pretty cool. And let's start with No Son of Mine. For me, this track is like if someone wants to make a Genesis song and tries to get everything that Genesis does in a pop song, this is the song that you get, or something like that. It is not very special to me. But overall, this is a fine track. I like the sound of the elephant, and I like when Phil is singing a section of the song, there is an crescendo keyboard that goes like. But also, even that one, I find it a bit simple. Then we move to Jesus He Knows Me. It's another simple song, even you could say even more simple than this one, but it gets more stuck in your head, like Congo. The thing is that when Genesis went to the United States in December of 1972, imagine, like it has been almost 20 years since that happened, and Phil already had it in the back of his head and all in the band that they saw a TV evangelist. So that's pretty cool. The chords are pretty cool, actually. I really like it, like Congo, as I said earlier. And also a bit weird, Jesus He Knows Me and Congo are the second song in both albums. Well, anyways, let's move on to Driving the Last Spike, the first long song in this album. It's weird because I have seen people complain, I have seen people loving this song, and I'm kind of in the middle. I'm more leaning to liking it, really. But I don't see myself listening to it all the time. Some sections I feel like, oh, we are in this section again, and it feels more like that, like I want another section to interrupt that section and then go back. The lyrics are the best that Phil Collins has ever written, and even it has an introduction like in the old Genesis albums. And instrumentally, it's also pretty interesting and fun, but I think that I wanted a little bit more of instrumentals. And next up, well, we still have the lyrics over here. It's I Can't Dance. Imagine, typical Genesis, you have a long track and now a short track. The buttocks, pretty funny. And the lyrics are probably the worst. But they are funny. This is a funny song, you know. That's the thing that we need to consider here. The most simple song in this entire album, and the band admits it. I really dislike that people still play this song when referencing to Genesis. But no, this is the song that represents the band now, and also the lyrics end here. Okay, so now we move into Never a Time. And this song is a song that I completely forgot about. It starts with a guitar and it's a very Mike Rutherford song. And I think that Mike should have kept this one because for Genesis it's a B-side material. It really doesn't change much of what is happening. It's a bit light-hearted, I get that, but also it's way too simple. It doesn't move many ways as I expect to have them. Dreaming While You Sleep, however, it's a song that actually can hear it all the time. It's really cool, it's dark, but also very instrumental and atmospheric. And then it also features Phil's drumming, pretty interesting field strumming, and a pretty cool guitar solo by Mike that's actually very low key, but it's really cool. But with this one, it feels like they are telling a really cool story with, well, probably two characters really, other than that, but with situations and something that could happen in real life. So that's really cool. Now we move into Tell Me Why, and Tell Me Why, it's the fourth single of this album, released in 1993, and this album was released in 1991. But I do remember this track. It's an okay track. It breaks the bass a little bit. Then we reached Living Forever, and this track is a bit cynical, but also truthful, and it talks about something that was a bit relevant at the time. These lyrics that you see to the song here are in the first part, and the second part is an instrumental solo. That's actually pretty cool, and it's done in a rhythm that Genesis doesn't seem. It's not that they aren't comfortable, it's a very modern rhythm for the band, and it works. It's really cool. I like this track a lot. When Phil is singing there, like this keyboard thing going up. Hold On My Heart is a song that actually features very cool sounding keyboards, and it's a bit of a slog of a song. It's very slow, and it just goes on and on and on. And when you realize that's the point of the song, really. But the thing is that this track just continues, doesn't have a chorus, and I really like how it sounds, how it feels, that it's a bit experimental, you know. One of the most experimental songs here. I think that you should check it out. Well, we have reached The Way of the World, and this song features like different way of singing this part, a different way of singing this one, and a different way of singing this one. It has like this energy that's a bit positive, talking about 2 points of view. It reminds me a bit of a Michael Jackson song, but made by Genesis, and it's pretty cool. And I don't know, I feel like this is the song that Never a Time wished to be. Okay, let's move on to Since I Lost You. Yes, this album is very long. And Since I Lost You is a song made by Phil, and I think that it should have remained a Phil Collins song. The stuff that Genesis added to this song, like the solo after this section, or the chords, aren't that special, and I think that they kind of ruin the intent of this song, because Phil has done much sadder songs than this one. And then we reach Fading Lights, which is the best song, and actually a very sad song. This one doesn't sound as sad as this one, and this one was made by Tony. And the thing is that it features these incredibly sad lyrics that are also not directly about something. It's just about how life ends. It feels that way. And this one features a cool keyboard solo. I mean, no keyboard solo, everything solo, because it's like it features the quintessential Genesis stuff. It feels very nostalgic, so it hits you with what it's saying, like the memories are going away and everything, and then it goes, the memories are back, you know, when it says remember. It's insane, actually. It's pretty effective, and I think that this is one of the best tracks in this album, if not the best, for me at least. Overall, I like this album. At least 10 of the 12 songs I think that are worth it. The sound is pretty different from the previous one. It's like a mix of more artificial sounds with more natural sounds. And I think that they try to depict that with this album cover. I feel like they could have done more crazy stuff in this album, but it's not like they didn't, because they do have some cool solos. They do have some experimental things, like not having a chorus, or Tony playing the drums in a keyboard or something, or the elephant sound. I do really like this album, and you should give it a try, and you will probably like the songs I don't, and you should check the songs that I have recommended. like Living Forever and Fading Lights, because they feature some very cool keyboard solos if you are listening to this band for that. And well, that's all from me. Thanks for watching.